Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, as we have been talking about in the last couple of weeks, we're closing in on the playoffs. The regular season is slowly but surely winding down. Most teams have only got 1 or 2 games left in the regular season, and so a lot of the playoff positions have already been decided, but some have not. They'll go all the way down to the last region game, or in some instances the ending season, regular season game, before it will be determined whether or not a team may or may not make the playoffs. And as we talk about all the time, there are plenty of teams here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area that are going to be qualifying for the playoffs and good enough to possibly win a title in their sport. And of course, primarily we're talking about football. Of course, we're talking about volleyball and cross country. That's the 3 sports that we highlight during this segment, our fall segment, and all of them are coming right down to the end. As a matter of fact, the volleyball tournaments have already started, and like I said, the football playoffs are just a couple of weeks away. Teams jockeying for position, and it's really going to be interesting. The thing that I always look forward to is just seeing how many teams from here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area qualify that look like they really have a chance to do some serious damage in the playoffs. And of course, that's the goal of each and every one of these coaches and their players, regardless of what their sports is to be playing the best you can be come playoff time and hopefully ending up with the state title. We got 2 outstanding coaches with some of their athletes on tonight. We look forward to visiting with them in just a few moments. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with our first guest of the evening.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
You know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, we've got our first guest with us tonight, and it's someone that I've known quite a few years now. Coach Brett Huber, the cross-country coach at Vestavia. Coach, always good to see you.
Thanks, Snapper. Good to be here.
And for people that might be seeing you for the first time, tell us a little bit about your background. I don't remember exactly what all it is. I just know that you're like a lot of other coaches. You ever get to Vestavia, we don't leave. They've got that reputation, and there's a good reason for it. But tell us about how you got to Vestavia.
Well, Snapper, I'm from East Tennessee in beautiful country up there, and but when I finished my master's program, I ended up my first job was down here in Birmingham, in Jefferson County, and spent the first part of my career at Gardendale High School, and that was a blessing. And since then, met Coach Anderson, and he brought me to Vestavia, and I'm real thankful for him. And I've been here for a while, since 1999. Well,
I know you have been, and you've been very successful here. I know you've had a track championship in your career. I'll be remiss if I didn't say one reason I was looking forward to talking to you on camera. We ran into each other a few weeks ago up in the Danville area at the big meet that was up there, I call it in north central Alabama. But boy, there were a lot of people, must have been 4,000 or 5,000 up there. Yes, it was. And I had already been told there was going to be a lot of people, and of all things, I went up there to see my granddaughter who runs at Hewitt-Trussville. And then lo and behold, I see you. Out of all those people, we connect. And you and I were talking a little bit, and this is one thing I want to talk to you about, because I'd never had a coach say anything to me quite this way that makes me understand the difference between cross country, indoor and outdoor track. And there's a reason for what you do in cross country, that it sort of sets your players up for the next stage, and I never had it quite explained to me that way. So would you share that with our audience about, other than just the act of competing on the cross country team, there is rhyme and reason for it leading into another part of the season?
Well, there's a couple ways to look at it. First of all, you have the kids and their interests. Some love cross country, some love the 800, different things.
Right.
But for the sport of distance running, what we see is there's very complementary seasons to one another for distance running. So the more you peel the layers back of distance running, you find that even our seasons within high school, but they all complement each other. And so, for instance, if you're a true cross-country runner, you need the speed races of other seasons to help complement your distance running in cross-country. And then you need the opposite also for the short sprinters. They need more endurance and the training that comes from long-distance training. They also need those benefits. So they really both complement each other. Now, many states do not have 3 seasons,
Right.
but we have cross-country, we have indoor and outdoor. And so we've, in our program, and all the other coaches around the state have done the same, you sort of modify your program to what we have, and we have to field 3 seasons. But for us, for distance running, we like that because all of the seasons we feel as coaches from our homework, they complement each other. And so, and it's neat because you can have different interests in your seasons, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about the training that the students are getting. And most of our students would tell you the more training they do, they see their times improve.
Well, see, the one thing that I can equate that with when it comes to other sports is like we've always talked about the 3 main sports, football, basketball, and baseball. But you also have the change that's happened there is nowadays, back when we were in school and times further back, guys played 3 sports. And sometimes they still do that, but now it's even like they'll pick one sport, whether it be football or cross country or whatever it is. And some of them will play club ball for whatever sport, and they're spending a whole lot of time concentrating on that one sport. And so I see, and I guess cross country and track is the same with indoor and outdoor, that a lot of these kids compete in all those. And like you said, one helps the other. Yeah. And I never had it explained quite that way before, but it made me have a new understanding of what it means for the athletes to be year-round doing that and how their one sport helps another. But now, going along those lines, talk about, through your years of experience, it seems like that more and more youngsters are participating in track than ever before. It wasn't always a very popular sport, to say the least, but through the years I've seen it grow, both male and female, as we'll have when we have youngsters up here. And so talk about that in your years coaching, how you've seen the evolution of that athlete. Hadn't got to be one that's participating in the big 3 sports. There's sports they all can participate in.
Well, I think, again, there's a lot of, as many people as we have talked about this, we're going to have different opinions of what people are involved in. But from what I've seen from our community is the parents really like the benefits of track and field. So if their students are not in other sports, they like the physical benefits that help their students get better in those skills. But also, one little thing we see even in our cross-country group, they're really good academically, and the parents pick it up and then we pick it up, but those things connect. The discipline that the distance running and cross country, the 3 seasons, 2 seasons, 1 season, whatever it is, but all that helps the other areas of their life. And so we see both. We see students that are really interested in the sport and want to get better. They want to help their team. And then we also see it's a really good group of students to be involved in, whether it's football, basketball, or the band, or cross country. And so there's some really good, we would call positive peer or social benefits too, because every team has different things that they bring from it. But definitely in track and field and cross country, there's great benefits from just the team aspect of being a part of a team and working towards a goal. whether it's training or qualifying at sectionals or whatever it is.
Right.
And,
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that was really stuck out to me was when I went to that big meet, and I've gone to a few track meets because of my granddaughter here at Trustful, and I was really impressed by the participation or the support that parents give those youngsters. There were a lot of moms and dads and relatives out there in that field. I tell you, I just didn't realize so many people, and I should have, but I didn't, go out there and support those young men and women that enjoy the track, whether it's the cross country or whatever. And I guess that's a big plus for you as far as the job that you have, is the support that your athletes have, Brian.
It is, and it's totally different because in most of the sports you're in the stadium watching, you know, or basketball arena, whatever it is, but cross country, be right there next to the line.
Well, I
The
tell you
finish line
what,
at the
Coach,
start.
this
That's
few
exciting.
minutes passes by very quickly. The one last question I'll ask you, as you get ready to get into your sectionals and that, what position is your team in? Do you feel like they're at their best that they've been all year and are peaking at the right time?
Yeah, well, we're hoping to do all those things. Right now, only 3 teams go to state from our section. Right now, we have probably 5 or 6 teams that are ranked in the top 10 out of all teams in Alabama in our section, but only 3 are going to go to the state meet. So it's actually the hardest sectional that there is in the state. But right now, our girls are right there in 4th position, looks like, have a shot at qualifying. If we can have a great race there. And then the guys are in 4th and 5th position. And the rankings are very deceiving because on paper, it's one thing, but in reality, it's another. And what's neat about cross country is you've got to have 5 guys or girls on that day do their best. And 3's not going to get it, 1's not going to get it in 4. So we're hoping that our 5 will be ready to go. And then actually we can take 10 runners. So, and we've had many times have the ones that are not in that top 5, they end up 4, 5, 3 because they have a great day. So it's exciting.
Well, I tell you what, awfully good to see you again. Good luck. I hope everybody's peaking at the right time and we make some noise in the state tournament. We'll be right back, folks, and visit with 5 young athletes that are playing a big part in the success of this Rebel team so far this year. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gardendale in Trustville today.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine and orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine with shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrew Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Injury Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, I'm surrounded by 5 outstanding young athletes up here. And just where Snapper every once in a while has been known to muff names. Well, we're not going to muff tonight because we're going to ask each one of these young athletes to tell you who they are and what grade they're in. And remember, all of these are cross-country athletes. We'll find out more about them. And we're going to start with this young lady.
Hi, I'm Sasha Allison. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Lauren Cetars, and I'm a junior. Hi, I'm Melissa Cetars, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Blake Garris. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm William Parker. I'm a senior.
And see, we did not mispronounce any of those names or mispronounce. So good to see you guys and girls. First of all, we got 3 juniors and a senior, so we got a little varied audience here. So Sasha, what is it about, in this case, cross country? What has turned you on to cross country and to track in general?
I just always have loved running since 6th grade. I really got into it, and even though a lot of people say there's a lot of misconceptions about running, like people think it's not necessarily a team-oriented sport, but what I love about it is it really is a team-oriented sport because everyone is just so encouraging, and and your friends can keep you accountable for your training, and it's just such a good sport and a skill that you can have until you get older, and it's really helped me in other areas as well because it's just really taught me to keep persevering and stay determined in running and like school and other things as well.
Good, good. And Lauren, one thing that I'm always intrigued about is no matter what sport it is, in this case we're talking about track, team chemistry is very important. The reason being twofold. One, if you like each other, there's less squabbling, less disharmony on your team. And 2, if there's great chemistry, you can be the best you can be as an individual, and you can be the best you can be as teammates. Talk about that for a second.
I think that our team, we all work so well together, and each race we all support each other and motivate each other, and we just always say a prayer before we run, and just through every race we work through it together, even if it's hard. We encourage each other.
Well, now the one thing that I've always wondered about, and cross country is no exception, what in the world is it you're concentrating on when you're running? Is it anybody around you, the person in front of you, or are you thinking about something completely different to get your mind off of the torture you're putting your body through for a little while? What do you think about?
There are a couple of things I think about. Sometimes I'm sort of just really in the race and focusing on improving my time and catching up to the next person and being a part of the team. But I also just sometimes I pray and I just ask God to give me strength and endurance to go through the race with strength. So.
Because I tell you, I have watched my granddaughter run that cross country, and I know sometimes you got to think about different things. I'm sure. But to keep you motivated and keep you going. Blake, one thing I always wondered about your sport, cross country and track, is do you have any teams you enjoy running against? Like, do you have friends maybe at other schools, and so you really look forward to running against that certain school? And who would it be for you?
Yes, sir. As Coach Huber said, we have probably the toughest section of state to get to the state meet. So we always love to race our section. We race against Mountain Brook a lot. Hoover's our big one probably. We've had some good ones this year. It's going to be Oak Mountain and Spain Park. Those are our big rivals. So I think this year, I mean, we're all really good friends, and we all talk a lot. But I think when we get on the course, we fight for our teams, but we just love to race each other. I think it's a great experience.
Well, that's good. And like you said, a lot of these people you've known and are friends or what have you, and your paths have crossed on a regular basis. William, one thing that I wonder about, talking about, I wonder what do you think about when you're out there running cross country? What is it that keeps you going, keeping you from thinking about, oh, I'm getting tired, or oh, I'm falling behind, or whatever? What is your mindset?
Well, sometimes I just have a song that's just stuck in my head during the whole race, and that just kind of keeps me thinking about other stuff rather than just me running. Other times I might be like looking at people that I know or around my qualification, so I'll just run with them.
Now, what was the first thing you said you had in your mind?
Song.
Is there a certain song that...
Just random songs I have stuck in my head.
Okay, anything that keeps you going is good enough, right? Okay, one thing I like to ask all athletes, because you get varied answers, some of them are cute, some of them are funny, some of them will surprise you. So this is the first time I've met any of you guys and girls. And so what I would like to know, is there a superstition or is there something you like doing that would surprise me, whether it's singing in the shower, some of you might like playing golf, and people don't know things about you. So with that thought in mind, Sasha, if you told me something that I didn't know about you and it would surprise me or whatever, what would it be?
Every night before a meet, my mom always makes me pasta with meat sauce, because she's always thought that carbo loading is the way to go, even if it's not necessarily like going to improve my race dramatically. It's just kind of become a tradition over the past 2 years.
Well, let me tell your mom this. I'm guilty of sugar loading, and I don't think that's going to work, is it? Okay. How about you, Lauren?
Well, usually before a race, I usually have half a banana or maybe like some toast or something, depending on like how much time I have before the race. Like if it's early in the morning, I'll probably like eat a lighter breakfast, or if it's like in the afternoon or like at nights, I'll just like eat a regular.
So is it sort of a ritual that you go through before each meet? Okay. Lisa, what about you?
I sort of do have the same breakfast. I usually try to have a banana or protein bar, but I also usually try to wear the same socks every race. Like I pick a pair of socks.
Okay, now that I can identify
wash those
with.
And I wear them usually every race.
Well, let me tell you one thing that surprises me from you three girls, that not one of you said, and this shocks me, well, I'm a shopaholic. I love to shop. but running, y'all don't have time to shop, do you? So we can just forget that. Okay, Blake, how about you?
Well, I think for me, we have these chip timers that we have to wear to get our exact time, and it always goes on my left shoe no matter what. And if I tie it on someone else's shoe, it always goes on their left shoe no matter what. I think I've always done it for 4 years, so I don't know why I'd change it now.
Well, you Vestavia people, y'all are a superstitious bunch, aren't you? I think a lot of us are, and we're creatures of habit as well. How about you, William?
Well, I always have a certain playlist of music that I have on my phone. I listen to it on the bus ride before the meets.
Really? But the main thing is we all have got to get that correct mindset, right? Because what y'all do, it's one of those, from watching my granddaughter, the one thing I know that each and every one of y'all, when your race is over with, and I'm just talking about cross country and Pacific, is you are so give out. I mean, you put everything in there, and I've seen people come across that line almost passing out. You're putting so much into it. So from that standpoint, I have the utmost respect for what you guys and you girls do. It's been awfully nice to meet y'all. I wish you all the luck in the world. I hope you're going to be peaking at the right time. The last question that I have that I like to always end an interview with, and we'll start with you, Sasha. To this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Oh, wow. That's a hard one. Honestly, my parents I've always looked up to them since I was young, and they've just come such a long way, and they have just such admirable careers, and I'd really like to be like them, and just keep getting better and better.
Good for you. Lauren?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I would have to say my parents too, because they've done so much for me, and I always look up to them, through everything. So.
Okay.
I'd have to say my brother. I think he was actually a cross-country runner at Vestavia as well for 4 years, and he really enjoyed it and strived to do his best, and really encouraged me to do my best as well. And so that's how I got influenced to start running on the cross-country team and just keep trying to do my best.
Well, good for you, Blake.
I think it's got to be my parents. They've always taught me to fight for something and just work hard, and I think I've tried my best, and it's gone pretty well for me.
Good for you, William.
I would have to say Mac McCoy, because he was a senior when I was a freshman, and just seeing him out there every day, he was always trying hard. Coach was always on him, and he was the third fastest time in Alabama. So just looking up at him.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a delight to meet all of you guys and girls. Best of luck to the upcoming state competition, okay? Bring home another title, all right? Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to switch sports and have more athletes to visit with too. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gardendale in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, we've got another outstanding coach sitting up here with us. We've changed sports all of a sudden, and it's going to be the sport of football. And sitting here next to me, one of the outstanding coaches here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area. And of course, we're talking about Matt Plunkett of the Gardendale Rockets. Coach, good to see you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And as we start this interview, Coach, for a lot of people that might be seeing you for the first time, tell us a little bit about your background and what's led you to be the head coach here at Gardendale.
Well, I'm an Alabama guy. You know, was born and raised in the state, and my dad was a football coach, and for over 30 years, so I've been around it since day one. And my dad coached at Homewood when I was born, and we moved up to the Marshall County area and was around high school football, and just loved it. And then ended up being a walk-on football player at University of North Alabama after my high school days, and got into the college business a little bit. And, you know, was a student assistant at the University of Alabama, was a graduate assistant at Pittsburgh State University under Chuck Broyles, and went over to Carson Newman College for a year under Ken Sparks, a great coach, and then went out to Missouri and coached for 5 years under a guy named Bart Tatum at Missouri Southern State University. It was my first full-time job, and through some recruiting connections, ended up coaching Texas high school football for 3 years, and it was a tremendous experience. But my goal was to get back to the great state of Alabama, which I love, where my heart's at. And the good Lord provided an opportunity at Gardendale High School, and me and my wife and my family could not be happier.
Well, I tell you what, you've done a good job with your program last year, your team all the way into the third round before they got knocked out. So you come back this season with high hopes and high expectations. And I know I've seen this through years of doing what I do. Coaches don't build programs overnight. It doesn't happen that way. And but I've also learned through the years that you put good coaches with good players, and good things will happen.
No doubt.
A lot of the times. But there's one variable that can't be overlooked, and I've had to deal with it a little bit personally, and we'll touch on that in a little bit as well. It's no matter how good you are, no matter how prepared you are, the one thing that you have no control over is that injury bug.
No doubt.
And the reason, if y'all are familiar with Gardendale High School at all, like I am, they started the season off 4-0, and then had the big game in the middle of the season, the minor Tenacious Tigers. Of course, George Bates has an outstanding team, outstanding program there. You went into that ball game, and you were really going to find out where you were
No
really
doubt.
at that
No
part
doubt.
of the season. And to be honest, that was one of I think I saw more speed in that football game than I've ever seen. Two things I saw in that game that surprised me. One, the speed they had. Two, the number of injuries that you guys had.
No doubt.
And folks, we don't use that as an excuse, but if it's a reality, it's not an excuse. I don't think I've seen a team hit with frontline players, so many in a season as you've had. Now, after that ball game, y'all ended up losing a couple more in a row, and all of a sudden you were across roads in this season for you guys. You had to win or it was over,
no doubt.
except for the regular season. Now, Coach, talk about what it's been like leading up to that almost indescribable finish last week that has kept you're still on that lifeline support. But now it's down to just one opponent you got to beat. A one-game season almost.
No doubt.
But you've gone from the top of the mountain to the bottom during this season. Talk about what that experience has been like for you as a coach.
You know, and I've been there before, so I had to rely on, some past experiences as a coach. But anytime you go through something difficult, you got to find who's around you. And my dad always taught me about the importance of surrounding yourself with good people. And I think it starts with our coaching staff. I've got a great offensive coordinator who is so passionate about his job, Heath McCoy. Our defensive coordinator, Wes Patterson, just shows up every day, works his tail off, cares about the players, cares about what the job he's doing. And I have a lot of confidence, no matter what valley we're in as a program, that we're going to be able to get out of it. Because after those coaches, we've got some tremendous players on our team as well that are not just good football players, they're good people. And I really felt like the halftime of the Walker game, when I'm walking up to halftime, we're down 6 points, and I'm thinking, what I'm going to talk about at halftime, and I walk in, I've got a senior leader taking charge at halftime. I really felt like that was the turning point for us, that our players started putting it on their shoulders. And I really felt like that's where we've been. And, our backs have been against the wall, and like I told our guys, we were down in a valley. And we had to realize that if we tried to crawl out by ourselves, we probably weren't going to make it. But the core heartbeat of our team has really started to rise up and come together. And we're really finding out, who our team is as we're getting ready to play this last ball game against Center Point, and as we're getting ready to make a state playoff run. Because my heart tells me that we can be the most dangerous team in the state of Alabama. And but like I've told our captains and like I've told our team, that the only way we'll be successful if we decide to do it together. That's it. We can't have one or two guys doing it their way and being okay with that. We'll get beat because we're going to see some really good football teams in the playoffs. And but I tell you what, we've got a tremendous team, but we've got to focus on doing the little things right. We've got to stay the course, and that course ain't always going to be easy. We found that out. And but I couldn't be more proud of just our captains, our players, and our coaches who show up today every day to work and prepare these players to be the best they can be. And the last thing I'll say is, you can focus on being a good football player, but you can't be the best football player you can be unless you can be the best person you can be. And I think those are the areas that we try to focus on each and every day.
Well, I know, boy, the time flies by when you're talking, but going into this year, the one variable like that no coach realizes how it's going to hit him during the year is that injury bug.
No doubt.
And it's not an excuse. There's a difference between an excuse and reality of
No
it.
doubt.
And when it hits you, then it's next man up, so to speak. And then that's where you find out how the guys, not only you have grown as a coach, but your players have grown as individuals. And if you climb that mountain together, like you say, that's where you're going to find out if you can reach the summit or if you're going to fall to the wayside somewhere.
No doubt.
And I know going into this season, it probably never entered your mind that you're going to go into the last game of the year. This is the game we've got to win.
No doubt.
Because generally, it's just about been decided
No
before
doubt.
that last game.
No doubt.
So I know the one thing that you've worked on this week is making sure the guys are focused for the last battle you're going to have to face. Because without winning it, there's not another mountain to climb.
No doubt. And that, the strange thing, and you can talk about a lot of things. I really try to focus on the mindset of our team and the temperament of our team, because if our mindset and our temperament is right, that game's going to take care of itself. Because I just believe hard work and a winning attitude conquers all evils. That is it. There's no obstacle that you can face that hard work and a winning attitude can't overcome. I really believe that. And, you know, we face some injuries. And I remember the first half of the Walker game, we had some discipline issues and some injury issues. I look out there and we're running speed sweep, and I got a freshman tailback, a freshman wide receiver running, and a freshman fullback blocking. And we had a very productive play. And I was like, man, the future's bright. But those guys just stepped up, you know what I mean? But the thing that I guess that when I lay my head down at night, I think about our seniors. Because when I got these guys, when I got the job here and was fortunate, these guys were in the 8th grade. And they were my first group that was in that weight room after school. And I've been with them for 4 years and seen them grow up and mature. And, you know, selfishly, I want to see them achieve every goal that they've set. Because so many of these guys, you know, have just put aside so much stuff to focus on having the best season they can have and work so hard. And I want to see them, you know, selfishly have a lot of success. And I tell them all the time, I'm going to be the head coach here next year, you know, no matter what, because I love Gardendale. These seniors, this is their last shot, and I want to see them go out the winners and the champions that they are. And that's important to me. And surrounding them with a great supporting cast and making sure the guys around them, because they can't do it by themselves. They, you know, 3 or 4 guys on the field is one thing, but it takes 11 on the field, and that supporting cast is huge. So that's what we're trying to create as we get ready for this last ball game. And we could be the 4 seed, the 3 seed, or the 2 seed, no matter what. You know, we win, we got a great shot at being the 2 seed. We win, and another team in our region loses, we're the 3 seed. We lose, and we're the 4 seed. And so that 4 seed is not an option for us right now. No. Winning's the only option.
You just want to be a seed. In order to do that, you got to win.
That's right. That's
right.
Coach,
listen, awfully good to see you. I wish you all the luck this coming Friday night. And folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll visit 4 young men that's been very instrumental in the season they've had thus far. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
You know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa. The amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course. Miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Folks, we want to tell you about, once again, a new sponsor that we have on our program, and we're awfully glad. We've been affiliated with them on and off, and we've got them back on with us, and we're talking about Andrews Sports Medicine. They're the world-renowned sports medicine physicians and orthopedic surgeons there at Andrews Sports Medicine Orthopedic Center. They bring decades of experience and dedicated research in their respective fields. They are highly trained orthopedic specialists providing the most advanced sports medicine available in the United States. This group is well known for being the official sports medicine providers for the Alabama Crimson Tide, Auburn Tigers, Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Sanford Bulldogs, and dozens of high school programs in the central Alabama area. However, they are also available to provide folks such as us, you and me, who have an athletic mindset, the experts that is, but also the real experts at Andrews Sports Medicine aggressively pursue victory over every injury. Go to andrewsportsmedicine.com to start making your comeback today. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well. And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got 4 stripping athletes up here that look like they're really ready to go to battle, which they will be doing this Friday night. Sitting closest to me, Stephen Crowder, a senior, and Stephen's a linebacker and a captain, right?
Yes, sir.
And Andrew Freeman. Andrew's a senior, you're a linebacker.
Yes, sir.
And captain as well. Amari Burton here, a senior running back and a captain. And finally, Dawson Cazola, a senior, and you're a tackle. And so, guys, first of all, of course, I know y'all all know that I'm very familiar with your football team because my grandson plays on y'all's team, Stephen. And so it's good to have you guys here. But Stephen Crowder here, linebacker. I know going into this season, what were your expectations? I know you've been in the program all these years, but personally, what was your expectations about yourself and what you expected from the team?
Well, I kind of didn't really have, I mean, of course I had my own goals, but I was really focused on the team goals and, what I wanted us to do as a team. Going to the state championship was, always our goal, but then kind of there in the middle of the season, we had to just worry about making it to the playoffs. But we got that win over Pinson Valley, and I was just super excited about it. So,
well, I guarantee you had reason to be, because I hadn't seen an ending like that.
Yes, sir.
Hadn't. Andrew, being a senior and a linebacker, what were your expectations for yourself? And also talk about the chemistry on the team. Chemistry is a very important aspect of a team sport. And there are 2 reasons for that. One, you'll be the best you can be yourself if the chemistry is good. And then if the chemistry of the team is good, you have a chance to be the best you can be as a unit. Talk about the expectations you had for yourself and the chemistry for this team.
My personal expectations really were just to become the best player I could be. I had my personal goals with how many tackles I won, how many sacks and all that, but I just wanted to become an outspoken leader on the team, which I think I've succeeded in this year, and just lead my team to a lot of victories down the road. But I was really excited, or I still am excited about this year's team because we've grown up together, played 4 years, most of us. We have a lot of senior starters, so the chemistry is there on defense and on offense. But with the injuries, we had to sub in some new guys. But as we've gone along, like in the Pinson Valley game, I think that bonded us. So I'm really not worried about any young guys anymore. It's just a team now. So.
Right. Well, good. Amari, first of all, how has it affected you individually, having and being on a team that, one, you're so talented, it's a good football team, but injuries are the one thing you can't do anything about. Talk about the overcoming that situation from a players and a group standpoint for you.
Well, it's a tough thing to do, but you just got to focus and know that your backups are going to be ready when you call their name. That's why you got to prepare this summer for.
Now, Dawson, one thing that I will ask you, and it's almost self-explanatory, but yet there's a lot of truth to it. Thus far, through the injuries and everything, do you feel like that your team is now peaking at the right time? And this game that you're playing this coming Friday night, believe it or not, no matter how important all these other ones was, this becomes the most important game of the season for you guys. What is the mindset for you and for your team as you look into this game that's just 3 days away?
I feel like our mindset has become more of a team mindset instead of just being ourselves and setting our own goals. It's more of a team goal now. I feel like we come together as a team more than we have before.
Okay, guys, a couple of things that I enjoy asking is, one, of course, I've never met you guys personally before. I've seen you play a few times this season, but is there something about you, is it a superstition, or let's say a big strapping guy like you? Stephen might even like to write poetry and we wouldn't know about it. Now, I'm not saying you do. What I'm saying is there's something about you. Do you have a hobby or a superstition that would surprise me if you told me?
I would say that if you looked at me, you wouldn't think it, but I'm a hugger. I love hugs. I hug my mama, I hug my girlfriend. If I see you in the hallway and I don't know you, I'll come up and hug you and introduce myself to you.
Really?
Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah. You're a hugger that scared me to death. But hey, that's neat. I've never heard that. A big strapping guy like you, that's a tender type of emotion, and it don't matter what size you are or anything, does it? It's in the heart, right? How about you, Andrew?
I love books. That's just what I do. I don't really watch TV for real. They'll tell you I always walk around with a book. I'm reading something. So
Really?
I guess that'll be mine.
So you're looking for more knowledge out of the books, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any certain kind of books you enjoy? And I don't mean comic books. I'm not making fun of you. Are there certain books you enjoy reading?
There are certain nonfiction books, but I read a lot of fiction. I guess that's my replacement for TV. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what, that's a good idea. Sometimes TV needs to be replaced, trust me. Amari, how about you?
I'm pretty good at video games.
Really? Now, I knew somewhere along there there had to be somebody that would claim there ain't nobody that can stay with you, right?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Play a little bit.
Yeah, what are your favorite video games?
2K and Madden.
Really? Okay, so let's keep it with sports too, right? All right, Dawson, what do I need to know about you?
Like food.
Tell that problem. I don't really have many. I mean, I love, I guess, giving hugs to people a lot.
I could take that the wrong way, but I won't. I understand that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a super emotion. It's just that we're not used to hearing it from big old strapping guys like you guys. But that it comes in all sizes, doesn't it? All right, guys. I know, Stephen, you're a senior. Where do you hope to go to college next year?
Well, right now I'm really not sure. My best offer so far would be the U.S. Naval Academy has offered me a scholarship, so that's where I'm looking at going.
Okay. And how about you, Andrew? Do you know what you might do?
I'm leaning a lot towards either Southern Illinois, JSU, or Harvard.
Okay. Maury?
I'm not sure. I don't have any offers.
Okay. Now, when you go to college, what do you hope to do one day?
Engineering.
Okay. Not be a football coach? That don't seem to be in it. Okay. Dawson, how about you?
I don't have any offers, but I really would like to go to Vestavia State and be a teacher and become a coach one day.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, first of all, like I said, you got a big ball game coming up this Friday night. I wish you all the luck in the world. But the last question I always enjoy asking young athletes, and we'll start with you, Stephen. To this point in your life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
I think my dad. Just because he travels a lot. And so kind of growing up, never really knowing when he's going to be, because he's into sales and business and things like that. So just never really knowing when he was going to be home and seeing how he works so hard for me and then comes home and is tired from a long business trip and still had time to come out and throw the football with me in the yard or spend time with me. I think that's really inspired me to be the person I am today.
Okay, good for you. Andrew?
It's without a doubt my father, because he's a truck driver, and so when I was young, like Steven, he was at work a lot, and so he's always encouraged me to work hard, so I wouldn't have to work as hard as he does. So just growing up, he taught me my work ethic. A lot of people ask why I work so hard. It's because of him and what he's taught me. So yeah, I just work. One day get him off his feet and get a scholarship, so you don't have to beg.
Good for you. Amari?
I have to say my mom, because my dad was away in the military. She was the only one I had to take care of me, so I really look up to her a lot.
That's terrific. Dawson?
Definitely my dad, because he's really taught me my work ethic and how to push through the tough times.
Well, good. Well, listen, guys, the last thing I'm going to say to you is good luck Friday night. All you can do is go out there and do the best you can do, and then whatever's supposed to happen will happen, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But we wish you all the luck in the world. And guys, you know that till I see you again, you know what the snapper always says, bicycle.